Are you still struggling to get your back lever? I'm Jesse with The Movement Athlete, and today we'll be looking at how to address some of the common problems, and we've got 4 tips for you to help you improve your back lever. Tip number 1 that we have for you is to train the back lever with a pronated grip. So instead of being on the rings and the back lever with the palms facing in this direction, it'll actually be facing the other way. And this is for those that are experiencing elbow discomfort or pain, and it'll take a lot more stress off the elbows in the back lever. So if this is you and this is the deciding factor or the obstacle holding you back from achieving the back lever, simply change your grip around. So we'll take a look at what that looks like now. And Jared will get into the inverted hang. I'm going to still him. Notice the palms are facing forwards prior to getting into this, and then he'll simply lower into the back lever with his pronated grip, and there he is in the back lever, horizontal, okay? So again, that'll just take a lot more stress off the elbows. However, the deficit or disadvantage is you're not training your biceps as much if you're trying to train your biceps more in this ring strength calisthenics type movement. So the 2 parts to it are take stress away, but you're also not working the biceps. But a lot of people find this to be an easier entry into holding the back lever. The second tip we have is to train the muscles for hip extension. So a lot of people neglect working the whole lower half of the body when doing back levers and planches, and we'll look at 2 different exercises to work the back extensors or the hip extension muscles. And again, we've got these exercises that are very similar and show up in the planche workout if you check that video out. So we'll look at these 2 subcomponents of back extension for the back lever. We're going to look at 2 different exercises to train the hip extension portion of the back lever. So the first one we'll do here actually shows up in our planche workout if you go check that out on YouTube. So same exercise because our body is being held horizontally and we have to train the same muscles for it. So first one will be the prone leg raise. So we're face down on the block. The hip is really the hinge here, so we'll be right towards the edge of the block, legs are off. We're holding on to something in front of us, such as a post. Right here we've got a nice low bar, and we'll be squeezing the glutes and using these back extensors here. And we can do a variety of things. We can do just continuous lifts, and we're shooting for the back lever, and we can hold this one, so we're shooting for same position. And then we can also do, as we're doing before, different lifts. We can do different positions, like the straddle position, so we're trying to shoot for the straddle back lever. We can practice that here. So coming down to a position like this with the box and the bar in front of you, you can start to think about what back lever are you training, and you can address that and approach it right here without being on the rings and not worrying about how strong you are in your deltoids in your back lever yet, but rather focusing on the whole lower half of the body. So we'll apply this one later on the rings. You'll see it's the same exercise we'll use on the rings. Okay, we'll take a look at what the back lever lift looks like. We'll start off in a piked skin to cat position. I'm going to still Jared. And we are raising the lower half of the body into the lever and lowering back down again. So you can see he's doing the same exercise as before, but now we're applying it onto the rings. Excellent. Now this also shows up as a progression in our Movement Athlete app. If you're training the back lever, you will see this pop up, but it's also really addressing a weakness that many people have in the back lever of holding up the lower half of the body, because we're always concerned with the upper body portion, training the shoulders, maybe the arms and elbows, and how to hold this position. But if we're not actually working the lower back and lower half of the body, it doesn't matter how strong your arms and shoulders are. If you haven't trained it, your legs are still going to be dropped pretty low. So these 2 exercises are addressing that pretty well. Again, check that out in the Movement Athlete app. It is one of the progressions for the back lever. Our 4th tip for you to help you improve the back lever is to use the band for a band-assisted back lever. So if you're brand new at the back lever, I would not recommend this yet. I think it'd be best to have some kind of tucked back lever that you're familiar with and can hold before trying to use this tip. So what we'll have is any kind of thicker band for this, and really the intensity is built in. If you have a thick band, a thin band that's got light or heavy resistance, there's your built-in intensity. But for starters, we'll use the band, hook it to one of our fingers, and go over the ring. So you can see Jared's got contact with both the band under his fingers and hand, and he's still grabbing the rings, and you can still feel that surface. So going into the inverted hang, just like all the other entries, and then slowly getting into the back lever, and the lower he goes, the more the band will help. And there he is, right smack dab, horizontal, can feel the back lever on his own. So nobody's spotting him. He's not doing any kind of other variation with tucked or straddled legs. And he's just statically in there. And this tip is really nice because you can feel what the back lever is going to be like before achieving it. So as I mentioned, as this gets easier, you can start to work your way down to a lighter band and get into this. And come back out of it, we'll simply tuck back, roll forwards to get back out of this. Much more difficult and problematic if you end up going backwards because you'll get pretty stuck with the band. So it would be wise to have someone help you through this if this is your first time doing it and you're a novice. But if you're strong enough to tuck up the body and reverse the action to come back out the way you came in, that is the best, safest way to come out of this position. So fourth tip, the band-assisted back lever. It's living the dream. This is what it feels like to have the back lever before you can actually hold it yet. So we'll get a closer look at how to use the band in this particular exercise. So we're taking the middle finger and feeding it through the loops on each end, and then grabbing the rings. So now he's got the loop and band between his hand and the rings, and he's got a good hold on both sides of it. So those are our 4 tips to help you improve your back lever. And if you haven't done so yet, check the link below to take the free assessment with the Movement Athlete. That way you can determine how strong you are and what level you should be starting at with the back lever. And it's got a great personalized way to find out where you are and build a workout for you. It'll change the intensity along the way if you're feeling stronger that day or maybe a little bit weaker that day. There's a personalized effect when you're actually using the app to train these back levers in your workout. So sign up for that. It only takes 5 minutes to do it, and it's got a personalized way of guiding you to success. So thanks for checking out our 4 tips to the back lever, and take that free assessment if you haven't done so already. So how strong are you? Calisthenics is the ultimate in bodyweight training because it's fun, challenging, and rewarding, but it's also difficult to know where to start in the whole process. So that's why we created a free calisthenics fitness assessment. And what this will do is we'll help you find out exactly where you are in your pathway of calisthenics mastery. It'll help create personalized workouts for you. It'll help you achieve your goals faster. So we want everyone to have access to this regardless of their budget and location. So as long as you have internet, you'll be able to take control of your fitness program. So click below for the free assessment tool.